Students may be taking a healthy turn, but at UH News uncovers how today's diet foods are taking a turn for the worse.
In Austin, UH students arrived by the busloads to demand more school funding from the state.
From Metrorails to zipcars, Houston offers students some faster ways to travel the city and beyond.
Today is Wednesday, February 25th. I'm Jessica Moreno.
And I'm Peter Kelly. At UH News starts now.
Houston Metrorails says the line running through campus opens within a few weeks. Reporting from outside TDECU Stadium, Maria Aguilera has the details. Maria?
Houston Metro Southeast representative says the Metrorail is expected to open in April. UH is the only university in the state of Texas that has its own light rail line around campus.
Stakeholder Affairs Rep Antoine Bryant says the cars are tested on the rails, going back and forth throughout the system. The federal government requires Metro to run its trains for a minimum 1,000 hours.
It's a federal mandate that we have to make sure we clear that, to make sure that it's operable and safe for all of our riders.
The Southeast Line, also known as the Purple Line, has 2 cars and 10 stops, some of which are near UH. Each car holds 200 passengers.
There's an opportunity here really to give people more options. You know, we're not going to necessarily say, don't drive your car, but now you have choices.
Biotech junior Varshini Kudaligi says morning traffic and safety is a major issue for her.
You don't have to get off any stop, and even if you get off some stop, it has cameras around, so it's kind of safer than the bus stops individually.
Kudaligi says the rail should cut her commute down almost 20 minutes. For many students, the rail has been a long time coming.
I'm not exactly excited about it. I wish it would have been here already. I'm actually kind of annoyed because it was supposed to be here last semester and it wasn't.
Bryant says there will be a celebration for the line in April, just as they did with the North Line grand opening.
Reporting from the Robertson Stadium station, I'm Maria Aguilera with at UH News.
UH students can ride the Metrorail by using a Q card, which can be purchased at gometrorail.org or through downloading the Metrorail app. You can also use the website or app to find route schedules and times.
The Cougar reports UH Athletics is receiving an extra $5 million to spend on its new basketball facility. The Board of Regents approved the increase to $25 million during last week's committee meetings. Athletics was the center of attention this quarter as the university deals with several new audits related to TDECU Stadium. UH's audit chief says bids for the stadium management contracts were compromised because of missing information in the request for proposal. The board also approved a new doctoral nursing program, which is moving to from UH Victoria to the main campus this fall.
Dozens of students are back home after traveling to Austin Monday for this year's UH Day at the Capitol. SGA organized a trip which gave students a chance to voice their opinions on why UH deserves more school funding. Brittany Taylor reports.
So we're inside the Capitol, and right now it's halfway through the day after students have been advocating towards Senate. So we're here talking to the SGA president, Charles Haston. So why is this day important to students, and why is it important that SGA members have gathered different students from different programs to come out and advocate towards the senators?
Yeah, it's extremely important. So, I mean, it's one thing for President Couture and members of our staff coming here every single day or every week during the legislative session speaking to our elected representatives, but there's nothing as powerful as students who actually represent the people that actually go to the institution to come and speak to their elected representatives, but how important it is to fund the necessary things that the University of Houston needs. We need tuition revenue bonds, we need a new pharmacy building, we need clarification on Hazelwood and funding for Hazelwood. It's really important that students actually represent their voice to our elected representatives throughout this process.
SGA President Charles Haston went to Facebook to defend himself Wednesday after the Cougar ran an editorial cartoon with the print headline, "Get the facts before passing the resolution, SGA." Social mediaologist India Hardridge puts the situation into perspective for us.
That's right, Jess. Under the headline was a drawing of Haston leading an angry SGA mob with pitchforks and torches. Haston quickly responded with a sense of humor, posting a quirk about the picture making him look 40 pounds slimmer. But this is by no means a light matter. For a while now, SGA has been hammering away at the administration and finance division over what SGA says are several broken promises. the biggest involving the school stadiums and performance halls. President Renu Couture recently said yes to signing new agreements with more defined outlines, but it's still a very complex issue. Our sources say Frontier Fiesta and the homecoming committees became involved after these organizations were denied free use of TD-ECU Stadium. The electoral debate is tomorrow night at 6 in the UH Law Center, so we're sure there will be more on this then.
Thank you, India. For those of you planning to walk the stage in May, the late filing period for graduation begins Saturday. After that, the application fee will rise to $50. Students can apply online through PeopleSoft. If you've already applied, caps, gowns, and other graduation accessories are available at the Student Center inside Barnes & Nobles.
Up, up, and away we go. UH administrators approved a Space Architecture Master's program on Thursday, along with a partnership with the Sasakawa International Center for Space Architecture. The program hopes to build and strengthen the global aerospace community through building more connections between the University of Houston and NASA. The program offers a 3-semester curriculum for full-time students and a 5-semester curriculum for local professionals.
A Massachusetts-based car-sharing service that's now available to UH students is giving the term hitching a ride a new twist. Reporting from Cougar Village 1, Destiny Holiday.
One of the greatest benefits about being in college is having this newfound independence. What better way to utilize that than having your own car? Zipcar paired up with the University of Houston in the summer of 2014, where they allow students to rent out cars by the hour or by the day.
Students, staff, and teachers can currently join for only $15 thanks to Ford.
I just like the convenience of it. As long as there's a car there, you can just go and get the car, and you'll have it for as long as you need. You can even do it for like the day if you want to.
Zipcars are found at the locations of Cougar Place, Bayou Oaks, The Lofts, and Cougar Village 1. Zipcar provides various model types such as Ford, Nissan, and Volkswagen.
At first, when I got Zipcar, I was like so excited about it, and I kept telling my friends about it. You know, repping the shirt every time I go.
If you want to learn more about the 4 simple steps to Zipcar freedom, go to www.zipcar.com/UH. Here at Cougar Village 1, I'm Destiny Holiday at UH.
With more options to get around the city, you may be looking for fun things to do. Here are the top 3 places to be this week. The Houston Rodeo and Livestock Show begins tomorrow, starting with the World Championship Barbecue Cook-Off at NRG Park near the Reliant. There'll be cooking, dancing, and lots of eating. Tickets are available at the gate for $15. Now this next one may be a little bit pricey. The Rockets are playing the Cavaliers Sunday at the Toyota Center. Tickets start at $60, but it should be a great game. It's in the middle of the day, beginning at 2:30 p.m. Finally, if you're looking to stay on campus, SPB is showing the latest Hunger Games movie in the UC Theater Friday. As always, students get it for free with their Cougar ID. The show times are 4, 7, and 10 p.m. If you go to any of these events, take a selfie for Instagram or Facebook, tag us. We'll add you to our Paint the Town Red album. Spring break is only a few weeks away, causing many UA students to eat more greens and less junk food. Or maybe not. In studio, Courtney Gregory investigates the junk food providers may be hiding in your healthy meal choices.
Health and research funding tells us the U.S. weight loss industry makes over $20 billion a year, preying on Americans' attempt to get in shape. Here on Skype is wellness specialist and chiropractor Dr. Bruce Guillory. He tells us the convenient and healthy options you're grabbing at the grocery store may be what's keeping you from reaching your fitness goals. All right, Dr. Bruce, so what ingredients should we avoid to stay healthy?
That's a great question, Courtney, because people are always wondering that. And I would say the number one thing is to avoid things with sugars in them. And a lot of times sugars are hidden in something that we would call processed foods, things that come in boxes and cans and can stay good on your shelf for an indefinite amount of time. Those are some things to avoid, as well as a sneaky little substance called trans fats.
All right, thank you. So why should we avoid those ingredients? Is there something about them that harms us, or is it just for weight loss?
Yeah, weight loss is important, but really what's important is what it's doing to your body overall, to be honest with you. Diabetes is running rampant in our country. 1 in 3 kids born this year are expected to develop diabetes in their lifetime. So sugar and diabetes go hand in hand. Processed food and diabetes go hand in hand. Processed foods and sugars also go hand in hand with cardiovascular disease, which is another one of the top 3 killers in our country right now.
All right. So in order to avoid these, we might want to know some of the other names that they go by. I know that a lot of companies are putting things in their ingredient list as other names in order to make better sales. Is there any important ones that you might want to let us know about?
Absolutely. There's one called high fructose corn syrup. That one is just one to just avoid like the plague, high fructose corn syrup. And anything when you look in the ingredients list of the foods that you're buying that has the suffix OSE at the end, like sucrose, maltose, galactose, those sorts of things, those all contain sugar. But there's a few others that are even more sneaky. If you see something that says cane juice or dehydrated cane juice crystals, maltodextrin, beet sugar, corn syrup, when you see those, think sugar, period.
All right, and when it comes to things that we avoid, that we hear about that all the time, is there anything that you think is really important, maybe your top 3, that ingredients or foods that should be in your diet regularly?
Things that we should keep in our diet. Yeah, I'll give you a couple of really good ones. Let's break it down into 3 things. Nuts and seeds, that's 1. The second one would be fruits and vegetables, 2. And the third thing is, and this is where it's a little different, people a lot of times would say avoid all kinds of different red meats. I would say eat meats that are organic and free range, where they've had no antibiotics or no growth hormones pumped into them, and the animals that you happen to be eating were allowed to eat their normal innate diet like grass and weeds and things of that nature instead of being force-fed grains.
All right, thank you very much. It was nice having you here.
Great visiting with you. Thank you very much.
After investigating which healthy claimed foods to look out for, we spoke with the University of Houston's Professor Temple Northup, who specializes in product labeling.
So there are a lot of claims like all natural that don't really have a lot of meaning but sound good, and so the food companies have generally taken advantage of that.
Students are making it a priority to inform themselves about health rather than relying solely on the information provided on food labels. Even though the public is more interested about what's in their food, it doesn't necessarily mean that any changes in food regulations will be made soon.
I don't think there will ever be really strict regulation in terms of what's in the food or even necessarily how food is labeled.
According to an International Food Information Council survey, last year over 180 million Americans consumed sugar-free diet and low-calorie foods regularly. But as you can see, with so little being done to regulate nutritional claims, people may have to do their own research in order to take control of their diets. The Center for Disease Control says almost 70% of adults aged 20 and up are overweight. I'm Courtney Gregory, investigating for @UH News.
Thanks, Courtney. The new H-E-B on San Felipe and Fountain View is now open. It's the chain's most upscale store and has the largest selection of H-E-B organics in Houston. That's not the only thing. The new store has a restaurant with patio seating and live music stage. H-E-B says this location has one of the biggest vertical gardens in the city. It's about 20 minutes away from campus. I'm Malcolm Farrell, and now for your social media forecast.
Just in case you missed it, your social mediaologists are here to fill you in on what went down during the Oscars.
But before we dish about the red carpet, film critic Nick Tiffany with insight into the movie nominations.
The 87th Academy Awards came and went in a spectacular fashion. The Grand Budapest Hotel and Birdman each took home 4 awards, with Birdman winning the night with Best Picture and Best Director, Alejandro González Iñárritu. Every film nominated for Best Picture received at least 1 award, including Boyhood, Selma, The Imitation Game, The Theory of Everything, American Sniper, and Whiplash, which took home 3 Oscars. Julianne Moore took home Best Actress for Still Alice, and Eddie Redmayne took home Best Actor for The Theory of Everything, flipping the notion that young actresses and older men win these awards. Host Neil Patrick Harris did an admirable job with a fantastic opening number and some running gags during the show, including jokes about the all-white actor field. It was a fine show, and you should make it a point to seek out the winners and nominees. I'm Nick Tiffany. Good night and good luck.
This year's Oscar winners used their acceptance speeches as a platform to raise awareness about controversial topics. Boyhood co-star Patricia Arquette dedicated most of her speech to fair pay for all women by saying, "To every woman who gave birth, to every taxpayer and citizen of this nation, it's our time to have wage equality once and for all, and equal rights for all women in the United States of America.
Artist John Legend and Common left the stage with a lingering quote, "Selma is now," after winning Best Original Song, Glory, in the movie Selma. Legend shined a light on the horrifying fact that there are more black men incarcerated today than there were slaves in 1850.
Best Adapted Screenplay winner Graham Moore encouraged the Oscar audience by saying, "Anyone who has ever felt like an outcast, stay weird and different, and inspire someone else to do the same once you make it to the top."
The Oscars brought us some of the most jaw-dropping fashions of the year. Actresses like Lupita Nyong'o, Zoe Saldana, Viola Davis, Kerry Washington, and Zendaya Coleman made a statement in their 50 Shades of White. People are now questioning whether the color coordination was intentional, and if so, why?
The ladies may have collaborated to make a statement of unity and support at an Alfre Woodard 6th annual pre-Oscars dinner. The dinner is an intimate gathering for African American actresses to come together and uplift one another in an industry that so often tears them apart.
Kerry Washington told The Hollywood Reporter, "This is a room full of nothing but love."
Well, that's all for your social media forecast. I'm Gabby Gator.
And I'm India Hardridge.
Be sure to follow the UH News team on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
There you can find exclusive mini videos and pics, including breaking news coverage and behind-the-scenes sneak peeks. I'm Jessica Moreno.
And I'm Peter Kelly. Watch at UH News next Wednesday, same time,
same place,
CoogTV.com.